Motherfucker.
Hold up, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
That are in those training rooms with him know nothing.
Because he just knocked these out real quick.
But now we're gonna get a good. That's why I fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look.
They're at edge. Holy shit! What the hell just happened? What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday, January 17th, 2022. Got a big show planned for today. We'll break down today's NBA games. We'll talk about tonight's big wild card matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. Talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend as well in the NFL and in the NBA. All right. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hopefully you stayed warm, because at least here in Indiana, it's cold. All right. Before we get started on breaking down today's side of games, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. And then we're also live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. You can find both those shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about all of our shows, whether it's our daily picks from Easy Money, a sports betting show, interview announcements, just any show announcement at all gets posted to social media. Also, you can find Easy Money, a sports betting show, and GSR Gonzo Sports Room in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Also, don't forget we have our new GWR Gonzo Wrestling Room weekly pro wrestling podcast. The second episode of that dropped yesterday morning. You can find that podcast on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. You can also find the video version of that on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. If you'd like to watch the video version, new episodes drop every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Like I said, you can find yesterday's episode. Actually, you can find the first two episodes right now on podcast form or on YouTube for the video version. Check out our YouTube page. We have a lot of content on there. Between our sports betting show, our sports talk show, and then our pro wrestling shows, we got a lot of content on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. We'd greatly appreciate it. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports /merch. You can see some of our t-shirts here behind us. We have hoodies, hats, beanies, long sleeve tees, a lot of different things on there. Some new merch will be dropping here real soon. So go check out our merch store. Get yourself some GWR, GSR, or Easy Money gear. We'd greatly appreciate it. Also, we have a donation page set up at that same link. If you'd like to donate to the show to help the show grow, we'd appreciate that as well. You can find that link in the video description, or it's going across the bottom of the screen in the ticker. But all right, let's get into some of these games. We'll start in the NBA because the NBA games, some of them are going on right now. So we'll go ahead and jump into the ones that are getting ready to start, so we can get those picks out to you, and then we'll go into the NFL and talk about the big wild card matchup tonight. All right. First game we have in the NBA is going to be the Bulls at the Grizzlies. You have the Nets or the Sixers and Wizards are playing now. That's in the third quarter. It's 61-55 Wizards. The Nets and Cavs just started. Brooklyn's up 5-4. Of course, there's no Durant for that game, as he's going to be out. I think it said 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained MCL. All right, next game. But the first game we'll talk about, since it hasn't started yet, be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. You have the Chicago Bulls at the Memphis Grizzlies. This should be a good game. Both these teams have got off to strong starts for the season. I think they're both have been kind of surprises of how good a start they've got off to. The Bulls' first time being over 500 this late in the year in a long time, and I mean, I think people thought the Grizzlies were going to be better this year, but I don't know if they thought they'd be off to this hot of a start. But the Grizzlies are 9-point favorites in this game, minus 375 on the money line. The Bulls are plus 300 on the money line. Over/under for this game is set at 225. The Bulls are 27-14 on the season. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They average 111 points per game. Zach LaVine is out. He's going to be out a few weeks. He got lucky. It's just a sprain, and he didn't have no structural damage in his knee, so he's going to be out a few weeks. And Lonzo Ball is questionable for tonight's game. The Grizzlies are 30-15 on the season. They've won 11 of their last 12 games. They average 111 points per game. They're coming into this game a lot healthier than what the Bulls are. I like the Grizzlies to win this game. 9 points is too many points, though, to give up. Even with the Bulls being a little short-handed, I think this could still be a close game. 9 points is a lot of points in the NBA game. I would lean more toward the under the 225 in this game is what I would lean toward, would be the under the 225. Next game, we have the Indiana Pacers at the Los Angeles Clippers. This game starts at 3:40 p.m. Eastern. The Clippers are 2.5-point favorites at home. They're minus 138 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 118 on the money line. Over/under for this game set at 210. Neither one of these teams are coming into this game hot. Both of them have had disappointing starts to the seasons. The Pacers are 15-28 on the season. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They lost to the Suns Friday night. The Pacers average 107 points a game. They've been riddled with injuries and then just haven't been able to get anything going. They've lost a lot of close games. They've been competitive, but just ain't been ever able to get over the hump. The Clippers are 21-23. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They average 104 points a game. Paul George has been out. Kawhi hasn't played all season. The Clippers are 2-5 ATS their last 7 games. They've been having some backup players come in and step up. I watched them play the other night, and they were able to beat the Nuggets. Amir Coffey went off for the Clippers. I think the Pacers are going to get a win tonight. I think they're going to go get off this 3-game losing streak. I like the Indiana Pacers here on the money line at the plus 118. I just don't think the Clippers are going to have enough offense to keep up with the Pacers. I think the Pacers are going to get going today. The over-unders at 210.5. That'd be right on about what they average. These two teams would average together. I would lean toward the over the 210.5, but I do like the Pacers here at the money line. All right, next NBA game we have is the Milwaukee Bucks at the Atlanta Hawks. This game starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. The Bucks are 5.5-point favorites. They're minus 198 on the money line. The Hawks are plus 166 on the money line. Over/under for this game is set at 232.5. Both these teams can score points. The Hawks score a lot of points, but they don't have hardly no defense at all. The Bucks are 27-18 on the season. They average 112 points a game. They are coming off a loss where they just didn't shoot the ball well. But Bucks got off to a slow start to the season, dealing with a lot of injuries, and then they have picked it up as of late and been playing a lot better ball once they started getting some of their guys back. The Hawks are 17-25 on the season. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They average 110 points a game. The Hawks they don't have no defense, and they've if Trae Young struggles offensively, they're in trouble. They traded away Cam Reddish, which I really didn't understand, but I guess they'd figured that since they got off to a bad start to the season that they're just going to try to retool some. But I like the Milwaukee Bucks here at the -5.5. And I would lean toward the. Let's see, these two teams together average 222 points. They have this set at 232.5. So that's meaning both teams would have to be above their average. The Bucks play pretty good defense, so I'm going to say I would lean toward the under the 232.5. Next game is the Portland Trailblazers at the Orlando Magic. The Trailblazers are 2.5-point favorites on the road. They're -134 on the money line. The Magic are +114 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 218.5. Portland is 17-25 on the season. They're coming off a win over the Wizards. Portland is 7-13 ATS their last 20. Damian Lillard is out. He's having abdominal surgery, so he's going to be out for a while. And the Portland averages 108 points per game. The Orlando Magic are 8-36. They lost to Dallas on Saturday. They average 102 points per game. I like Portland here, even without Lillard. I just don't think the Magic have enough to beat the Trailblazers. I like Portland here at the -2.5. Next game is the Toronto Raptors at the Miami Heat. This game starts at 7:40 p.m. Eastern tonight. Miami is 3-point favorites at home. They're -146 on the money line. The Raptors are +124 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 208. The Raptors got off to a bad start earlier in the season, had a lot of guys hurt. Since they've gotten healthy, they've been playing better. The Heat have been pretty good all season. Raptors are 21-19 on the year. They beat the Bucks on Saturday. They average 107 points per game. They play good defense. I think they hold teams to about 100 points a game. The Miami Heat have won 4 of their last 5. They average 109 points a game. They're getting healthy. They've got Butler back. Hero's playing good ball. The Heat and the Heat can play decent defense. I like the Miami Heat in this game at the -146 on the money line. And I like the over the 208 in this game. I like the Heat money line in that game. Next game is the Phoenix Suns at the San Antonio Spurs. This game starts at 8:40 p.m. Eastern tonight. The Suns are 3.5-point favorites on the road. They're -158 on the money line. The Spurs are +134 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 227. The Suns are 33-9 on the season. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They blew the Pacers out their last game. I think they won by like 18. The Suns are 5-2 ATS their last 7 games, and they're 6-1 straight up their last 7. The Spurs beat the Clippers their last game to end the 5-game losing streak. They're 3-7 ATS their last 10. I like the Suns here at the -3.5. and I would lean toward the under the 227. Next game is the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are 12-point favorites at home. They're minus 750 on the money line. OKC is plus 530 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 210. The Thunder are 14-28 on the season. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They're 12-3 and 1 ATS their last 16 games. So even though they have not been winning a lot of games, they have been covering the spread a lot of games. The Mavs have won 4 of their last 5, and they're 6-1 ATS their last 7. Mavericks are the better team here, but I think 12 points is too many points to give up. I lean in this game at the over the 210. And then the final game tonight to cap off the NBA for this evening, you have the Utah Jazz at the Los Angeles Lakers. This game starts at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. The Jazz are 4.5-point favorites on the road. They're minus 188 on the money line. The Lakers are plus 158 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 230.5. The Jazz are 28-14 on the season. This is going to be a second game of a back-to-back from them. They're 19-23 ATS. They have good depth. They average 15 3-pointers made a game. The Lakers are 21-22 on the season. They're on a 3-game losing streak. The Lakers are 5-5 over their last 10 games, and they're 17-26 ATS on the season. I like the Utah Jazz here at the minus 188 money line. All right, that's all the NBA games for today. Like I said, some of the games are on now. All right, let's move over to the NFL. Got a big game tonight. Looking forward to this being the first time we've had a Monday night wild card playoff game. Capping off a full weekend of football, as there was 2 games on Saturday, 3 games Sunday, and then we got a game tonight. You have the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 3.5-point favorites going into this game. They're at minus 176 on the money line. The Cardinals are plus 148 on the money line. Over-under for this game is at 49.5. The Cardinals finished the season at 11-6. Rams finished the season at 12-5. I think that what this is going to come down to me is which quarterback is going to have the better game and which defensive line is going to be able to win the line of scrimmage. The Cardinals have been giving up. Murray's been sacked 3+ times in the last 3 games. So that's something he has to get rid of the ball, can't hold on to the ball and create negative plays. But if you look at this, the Rams haven't been playing they've been playing real great coming in. Yeah, they've won a couple of big games, but they've won despite Matthew Stafford their last 3 games. Stafford has turned the ball over 9 times in his last 3 games. Yeah, they've won those games. But in the playoffs, you're not going to win games if you're turning the ball over 2 or 3 times. The Rams are 1-5 ATS versus teams with a winning record. The Rams have not done real well with teams that are in, or they end up being playoff teams or teams that have a winning record. Well, where the Cardinals have a winning record against playoff teams. The Cardinals got off to a hot start, fell back a little bit. Like I said, Murray hasn't looked the same since he came back from that ankle injury. They're going to need Murray to have a big game tonight. He's going to have to get rid of the ball quick, not hold on to it. If they can keep Aaron Donald from blowing the game up, I like the Cardinals in this game at the +3.5. I like the Cardinals on the +148 money line. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I see it being right around a 3-point game, but I just think the Cardinals defense is going to come up with some turnovers, and that's going to be the difference of the game. I just don't see Stafford playing a clean game. Stafford plays a clean game, the Rams are going to have one hell of a chance to win this game. Like I said, I can see this game going either way, but with just the way that Stafford has been playing coming in, and it ain't. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of playoff experience to go by with either quarterback. But if Stafford doesn't play big in this game, and the Rams don't win this game, the narrative on Stafford's probably going to change into that. Oh, it was the Lions' fault that he never got anywhere. To no, it was Stafford. So I think there's more pressure. I'm not going to say more pressure, but just as much pressure on Stafford to perform as there is on Kyler Murray. I think, but yeah, this is going to be a fun game to watch. I'm looking forward to this tonight. It starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. But I like the Arizona Cardinals money line in this game, or at the +3.5 on the spread. But I really like the money line to +148, getting good value. I think this is going. I could see this being a lower scoring game. So I like the under the 49.5 in this game. I think both these defenses are going to be able to cause the offenses some trouble. Cooper Kupp to have 100+ receiving yards and Kyler Murray to have 40+ rushing yards. You can get that boosted from 240 to +320 on FanDuel right now. Also, Rams and Cardinals each to have 1+ passing touchdowns and 1+ rushing TDs. You get that boosted from +160 to +210. There's a lot of different prop bets and stuff on there that are available. But all right, let's take a look at the at some of the early lines for the NFL playoff games coming up for the divisional round this weekend. You have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. This game is going to be a Saturday at 4:30 p.m. The Titans have opened up at 3.5-point favorites. Over-unders at 47 for this game. This is going to be a good game. I can see the Bengals. I can see both teams winning this game. 3.5 is probably about right. I see this game being decided by a field goal. Then the other game on Saturday for the playoffs is the 49ers at the Packers. 49ers getting the win against the Cowboys yesterday. Packers are the number 1 seed, had to bye. This would be a rematch of the NFC Championship game a couple years ago, where the 49ers just just manhandled the Packers there in that NFC Championship games a couple seasons ago. I think the Packers are going to get their revenge this time. I think the Packers win this game. I like the Packers at the -4.5 as well. And then the winner of tonight's game will play who? Tampa Bay, right? That's the early lines on the NFL for next week. Got a little bit of college basketball today. Some of the games are going on right now. Notre Dame is up 31-30 on Howard in the first half. Coming up later tonight, let's see, do we have any big matchups? Got Utah at Arizona State this afternoon. But that's about it. There is no looks like there is no evening college basketball games tonight. We're this afternoon. The last games are getting ready to start here at 4:00. You have some hockey on. But, we're not going. All right, let's get to my picks of the day for today. We'll start in the NBA. All right, in the NBA, I like the Indiana Pacers money line against the Los Angeles Clippers. I like the Milwaukee Bucks minus 5.5. I like the Portland Trailblazers minus 2.5. The Miami Heat money line. The Phoenix Suns minus 3.5. And the Utah Jazz money line. And then the NFL tonight, in the playoff game for tonight, Monday Night Football. I like the Arizona Cardinals money line at the plus 148. All right, so my picks of the day, NFL tonight. Arizona Cardinals money line. NBA, I like the Indiana Pacers money line. The Milwaukee Bucks minus 5.5. The Portland Trailblazers minus 2.5. The Miami Heat money line. The Phoenix Suns minus 3.5. And the Utah Jazz money line. That'd be my picks for this evening for this Monday night. Okay. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget, you can find Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We started a little late today because I had some things going on, but usually we're live at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're also live at 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. That show's also live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can find both those shows in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Also, don't forget, we just started our new pro wrestling podcast, GWR, Gonzo's Wrestling Room. It's a weekly pro wrestling podcast. The second episode dropped yesterday on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it. The video version also dropped yesterday on YouTube. So if you'd like to watch the video version instead of just listening to the audio, you can find that on YouTube. Yesterday was our second episode of that. New episode will be dropping this Sunday at 9 a.m. So be on the lookout for that. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post all the announcements about our shows. We post our daily picks from Easy Money, a sports betting show there. Just anything to do with our shows gets posted on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Gonzo Sports Room. Check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button as well. Hit that bell so you get notifications of when we're live. We got a lot of content on there, whether you're on there, whether you're wanting to watch the sports betting show or the sports talk show. Then we got the pro wrestling stuff. We've streamed live from, I think, 8 pro wrestling shows now. You can find all those on our YouTube page. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi was at one of them, so go check that out. Don't forget, tonight we'll be live at 7 o'clock tonight with GSR Gonzo Sports Room. We'll recap everything that happened in the Super Wild Card weekend. We'll preview tonight's Monday Night Football game for the last game of the Wild Card weekend for the playoffs. We'll talk about the NFL playoffs coming up. Talk about some big injuries in the NBA. So don't miss tonight's show, 7 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Also, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have a big big interview announcement. Owner of Warrior Pro Wrestling, wrestler Buck Sexton will be joining the show tomorrow live at 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Make sure you join us for GWR Live tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Hope to see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for GSR Gonzo Sports Room, as we'll recap everything that happened in the NFL this weekend, and we'll talk about tonight's Monday Night Football playoff game between the Cardinals and Rams. Real quick, one more time, my picks for today are, I like in the NBA, I like the Utah Jazz money line, the Phoenix Suns -3.5, the Miami Heat money line, the Portland Trailblazers -2.5, the Milwaukee Bucks -5.5, the Indiana Pacers money line, and then in the NFL tonight, wild card playoff game, I like the Arizona Cardinals money line at the +148 over the Los Angeles Rams tonight. But we'll see you guys tonight at 7 for GSR. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Peace.